mainly related to the regression test journey. Obviously the focus is the regression testing, but essentially I want to push on the new capability introduced by Microsoft, as you know, is the Power Automation, automate desktop flow. That is really, really fantastic. Okay, so I can start. Just a few words about me, and then we can go ahead with the content of the session. Guys, I prepare nothing. I mean, in terms of the PowerPoint, so I love to iterate and show on real life how it works before spend time on deck. Well, so I'm Dennis Macchinetti from Italy. I'm technical director of Deloitte Italy technical team and also project manager as well. I'm MVP since 2014, so happy to still be here. Let's see what's happened to this year. Yes, and as I said, the topic is RSAT, but more than RSAT is how to use, how to follow the regression test journey, to manage a regression test journey for the, let's say, something that is not integrated, or better, systems that are integrated in the FinOps. As you know, as for the title, RSAT are not able to manage external tool, or essentially catch only the topic of the flow that are FNO, nothing else. So if you have some external like CRM or like transportation system or whatever, you are not able as of today to manage, this is I mean, the integration part is in a project. There are a lot of integration usually, and this part is really powerful, or better, is a challenge. And especially in terms of regression test, when a new update coming, or also, as you know, you handle a new package on your production environment. In any case, in my opinion, you must run the package, the entire test case that you created along the way, in order to have the green light in some way of update or not your production environment. Obviously, that if you have a project where the interface are, let's say, 13, 14, 15, depend obviously of the business or the industry, whatever, is really hard, let's say, to automate everything. And obviously, in this case, means a lot of manual activities in order to manage the rest of the rest. I mean, essentially the integration flow that you are not able to manage with the RSAT. So a few words about RSAT. Again, I don't want to spend time about the RSAT itself, because I don't want to say that it's easy, but I know that there is a lot of questions coming on Yammer. The product grew a lot in the last year. There are probably other, let's say, space to grow. I mean, so I'm expecting Microsoft continue to invest on this product. Also, as you know, in the ideas portal, there has an option specific for RSAT. So please move there your idea in order to help Microsoft to improve this product solution. But essentially about RSAT, as you can see in my video, there is a lot of also video created by Microsoft and Tech Talk usually, that explain in a proper way how to use RSAT, how to manage the parameter, as you know, in the spreadsheet, how to create your the base data. I mean, the data set that you need to have, you must use for handle the test. How, to be honest, probably you can find there the approach. I mean, what you need to do in order to have an end-to-end regression test journey, because as you know, if you create a test, you potentially must have a data set that potentially could be randomly or random, sorry, because you want to test different client, different item, different work order. So it's not explained how to do that. Again, if you want, we can we can set up a session about that in order to share my experience. But essentially, how to use a RSAT is explained in a proper way in the link that I shared before. The flow, again, another standard picture that summarizes the journey. Essentially, if you know, you start from LCS. It's not mandatory, as you know. You can create your test case directly in DevOps without using BPM, essentially. In fact, it is also mentioned here, not using BPM. So you can attach directly in your DevOps the test cases, nothing else, up to you guys. Then generate the parameter, the test data. I can say here, generate also the data set, the data source in order to run your, to execute your test case, and then have a report that help you to say, oh, well, the condition, let's say, the healthy of my system on top of an update or on top of a package. I mean, a sort of customization in terms of released by the developer team, the environment is safe. So means that the code introduced, that the code, the modification could be Microsoft or let's say coming from your team, didn't create any impact on the current workflow. So it's important, let's say, to have a report that help us to have a clear picture where we are. Again, as of today, in this report, you don't have the integration part. You are not able to manage in your RSAT, let's say, package the integration part. So, okay, let's say Power Automate, but the client want to have a unique console in order to have a whole step, including also the integration part. And so, let's say, don't have different tool, different capability, different place in order to check where we are in terms of potential error, or in terms of issue coming from interface, but not only, because I mean, the interface is for sure a big one in terms of challenge, but essentially everything that are not inside F&O. So, obviously 9% is interface, to be honest, but I mean, could be also something that you can do manually. Let's say you need to load one time per month or per year some file that you want to manipulate in Excel, using Excel, and then load to F&O. You want to test this scenario, because potentially it's not an interface is a daily basis. An interface daily basis, but potentially is a process that you manage using the client manage manually. So again, I want to test also this scenario, essentially. So I show you, okay, stop it. I show you what I mean, or what you can do with Power Automation desktop. That again, sorry for Italian, because I forget to change the language, but essentially, Power Automation Desktop is a solution, is the new capability that that is not anymore in preview. So you can is in public. Let's say it's public, so it's not anymore in preview, and you can use for automate your flow. As you can see, this is the desktop. So the solution is installed in your your desktop. So it's installed locally. It's not cloud. Okay, you must install in your laptop, let's say. And as you can see on the left, you can find. Sorry, there is a noise. So if no. if you you need, installing locally, and as a usual application installed locally, you open it and you can do a lot of things. On the left, sorry again for Italy, but you have a lot of options. So you can trigger everything. You can use Excel, you can use FTP, OCR, you can create a loop, so let's say a loop that read some entry in Excel file into something. You can read the file that are located in a folder. Really powerful. Well, so I show you now how to create a recording that again you don't use F&O in this case, but you use Power Automate. So essentially, you must start from, as you know, UI. You need to reach out to your portal in terms of UI flow, let's say portal. Okay. Here you need to choose again, yes, UI flow, and you can find a screen like that. So you can have a cloud flow, desktop flow, that essentially are the flow created by Power BI, Automate Desktop. You have the business flow and the share flow. I mean, you can create some flow and share with the other colleagues or other people in order to leverage from the same flow without to replicate, essentially. Well, so desktop flow is very easy. So you press new button, you give a name. So let's say example. There you go. Get the app. So if you don't have already download, blah blah blah, launch again. So if the app is not open, it so and so on. In our case, the app is I have already opened the app. In any case, you can see the app is automatically opened by the web, let's say, because I choose Power BI, Power Automate Desktop. Sorry. Here, open a blank screen, blank page, a white page, so you can design what you want. As you can see, you can find two main options. One is recording a web solution, a web solution like CRM, like what you want, or you can record a desktop application. So essentially, for instance, the old version of AX, or everything that is installed locally, so it's not web-based. I show you in an easy way how to record a web-based application. In this case, how to record using F&O, but again, you can replace F&O with any web-based application. So again, CRM or any other, let's say, finance web application and so on. So if you choose record the web application, essentially appear a form like that. So you can choose which are the browser that you want to use. In my case, I use Chrome. It's very important, as you see, sorry, in Italian, that you need to install the extension before to run something like that. So I show you what I mean. Tool, extension, for instance, Chrome. Automatically you appear the page of Chrome where you can, in this case, in my case, obviously is already installed, but if not, the button will not be removed, but add extension. So it's very important, otherwise you raise an error. Well, so go ahead. So again, record the web application. I choose Chrome. As you can see, press advanced. You can choose if you have, obviously in my case, F&O is already open, so I choose the F&O, so that because it's already open. Otherwise, you can obviously write down the link. Next. Okay, there you go. As you can see, appear a new small window, let's say, where you can press start recording, essentially. And as you can see, like if you remember Selenium, I don't know if you remember the beginning when you when Microsoft released Power Automate, where Automate Desktop was not released. You could choose Selenium, if I remember well. So the outcome is the same, as you can see, in terms of look and feel. You know, if you see there is a red point that in some way highlight the focus, sorry, the selection. So in my case, again, a really easy example, guys, but you can do really what you want. For instance, I can run a report, so like top 100 vendor. Again, I can change also the parameter that I show you also in a better way. We can change everything, you know, because the solution will record everything, you know. So press OK. And there you go. The report coming, you can close. I open it again, the recording, stop the recording, so ended. And automatically the solution, as you can see, trace the entry, record the entry, and you can find here. So just to check if it works, sorry, I close it. You can run, so you can execute the solution and check if it works, or better, if your recording works. Again, you think that this recording could be, I mean, any web-based solution, so it's not necessary. This example, because I don't have CRM installed here, customer engagement, I don't have any other custom or web-based solution, but again, the concept is the same. Well, so yes, there is an error. Okay, so in English is impossible to choose to click on the link. Okay, I know this error because so I explain you, because out of the box, if you record something, again, you can trigger, you can raise this error. Why? Because if you find or try to search in Google, I don't know if you find something. To be honest, I think about that. I spent some minutes before to understand the reason. I try to show you again, because just I click a lot of time in order to understand why. But essentially, the recording, the execution stop before, if you remember, I click on the menu. So in some way, the system, the solution, not able to reach out to the option. The reason is very easy, because if you think, because essentially the recording is very fast, let's say. So F&O, just you click and load the cache, blah blah blah, and take some second, let's say. So what happened? Happened that probably the recording click in a few time on the link, but the link is not available essentially. So what you need to do is to introduce a sleep in an easy way, a sleep action, in order to say, oh well, before to click on the menu, on the option, wait, let's say, okay, 4 milliseconds, but you can obviously choose what you want, and according also with the obviously in a real world, in a real life, I move here waiting a sleep time, let's say, probably more, because I want to be sure that the system is ready to, let's say, intercept the click. Well, what's happening? Let me try again. So in a real solution, usually I move, let's say, 10. I set here 10 seconds or more. Well, again, probably the error, because I don't choose the option. I don't see the option. So let's see. Yeah. If you see, you have also the point, I mean, the step that fail. I moved the sleep here, but probably, in my opinion, we need to move the sleep in a step before, because the link is raised here. So we need to wait that the solution is VD is everything is loaded by the browser. So let me move the step move the sleep one step before. Again, sorry, probably need to wait again. So execute again. Okay, here you go. So open Fndo. Oh, well, wait. Well, here you go. So now, as you see, it works. Fantastic. So the recording itself finish. So we are able to. So this is probably previous. No, sorry. Again, an error. Let me try again. Because 5, I guess, yes, are the number of vendor. So let me check. Sorry, a second. So I don't know if you need to add another sleep, sleep action. Yeah, seems that 5 is well, yeah, impossible to write 5. Okay, seems that 5 is not something permit. But anyway, I try to figure out in a different moment. But again, I simulate an external flow. So if you think again an integration where you need to exchange file between different system, again F&O, customer engagement, F&O, transportation system, blah blah. What we can do here is to do something externally. So let's say in a TMS system, and then give again the control, share again the control, ask an F&O essentially to do something more. So just I finalize my task on the external system, come back to the ERP in order to go ahead with the flow. No, so if you think about RSAT, you need to record an end-to-end process. Obviously, you need to split the step, the task. Obviously, not to run a session, a task, an end-to-end, in a one single step, as you know. So we need to split the step in a different, the task in a different, let's say, recording. Okay. So I can, let's say, in F&O do something. I don't know. Create a client or create a sales order, whatever, and I need to send something to an external system, or vice versa. I mean, so I need to, I create a customer, start a trigger to an external system do something, and come back to me with I don't know, a file, and I need to, from F&O, pick the file and read the content, and again do something. So how we can achieve this type of requirement? So essentially, if we come back to our scenario, I delete everything again. I start the recording just to show you a step ahead, because now what we see is very potentially easy. Very powerful, again, in terms of power automation, automation desktop. But let's move a step ahead. So start the recording. What I want to do now is again to this is an example, obviously, run the report. Try now if it works. Press OK. All right. Okay. And now, again, well, we can do in a different way because we can choose this option at the beginning, but I want now to export the content of this report, as you can see, in an Excel file, and think that this Excel file is produced by an external system, and you need to load in F&O. Again, this is not a session, let's say, how to manage integration with the Power Automation, but I'd like to show this in order to come into, finalize the concept, how to do everything like this, how to move everything, the RSAT, let's say, in order to have a unique governance, a unique point of contact of each test, let's say. both F&O or other system itself. That system can be, as you can see, a web-based system, or desktop system. So the old, let's say, IX version, for instance. Okay, so I create the file. I stop my recording. And okay, now again, let me add obviously another sleep, as for the previous test. Well, 5, I guess, is enough. And I anticipate you that we need to add another sleep before to click on the export to Excel, to spreadsheet, because also the report itself, we need to take some time to finalize the preview. Again, obviously, this I need to do that because I hadn't choose the option to create the Excel automatically from the beginning, but just to show you how it works. So I guess we can put something like that here. Also, we can set 6 seconds, something like that. Okay, good. Right. Go ahead. So now I'm expect that my external solution, in this case web-based, so for let's say for making the life easier, use F&O, but again you can use you want in terms of web application, doesn't care. Well, it's probably the first time he don't like the first run. Well, let me check. Okay, well, now seems works. No, because don't choose this. Yeah, again, impossible to click on the link here. Let me save the project. I don't know. Okay, there you go. Test again. If you have any question, I don't see the Teams, but please go ahead if you have any question. No, not yet. Well, let me move the sleep one step ahead. So this time, I don't know if this is the trick.
So Dennis, we have some questions in the chat. Do you want to have them at the end, or do you want to answer them?
It's okay. We can do right now. I don't like a lot of questions at the end. Please go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so the first one is from Ina. Dennis, so how can we validate specific values with Power Automate in such a test case?
Yes, if I understood correctly, yes, because if you are in F&O, you well, no, sorry, I don't understand. Sorry, let me check the question, because again, you recording everything. The recording, happen and you manage the recording inside F&O in this case. So if you fill out some value that are not, let's say, valid, the system is an error itself, because the sleep, for instance, yes, because are external event, but everything that I record, in this case in F&O, start the validation of the system, I mean of F&O in this case. So if I choose a client, if I understood the question, a customer, sorry, or a vendor or unit of measure that doesn't exist, I raise an error.
Yeah. Then we have a question.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think the next question is from Sudnik. Can I record in 3-part system, for example, creating and sending invoice to Dynamics 365 F&O, and then run automatically test cases in Rsat in Dynamics 365?
Yes, you can do. I show you. In fact, I want to end or finalize my session just to explain something like that, because the feature, I mean, in terms of that Power Automate desktop, for instance, can help us again is essentially to record something that is not F&O. So again, if you have a legacy system, for instance, that do something and send invoice in F&O. For send invoice, you can choose different, obviously, way. You can use the standard, let's say, web services, through data or something like that. In this case, you call the standard flow. Or you can create or share the invoice in a file, move the file in a specific folder, and the F&O pick up the file, and in this case, create the invoice. This invoice is a good example because it's the usual. Usually the client asks us something like that. So I show you how it works. Obviously, we don't show how the invoice created, but I show you how it works. An example, an example like that. So let me go ahead with the flow. About the INA question, Sabine, yes, if you want, I read again your question. So how can we validate specific value with Power Automate in such a test case? Well, I don't know if I understand properly the question, because before I say everything that you move, let's say every field, every attribute that you manage in F&O, again, also if the recording, let's say, coming, or you use not a task recording, but in this case, Power Automate, in any case, the validation are made by F&O. So I don't know if I replied to your question properly, because I see here that you say, I want to validate automatically populated value. Again, if you want to ask me live, because I don't understand properly your chat, Ina. Okay, go ahead and please raise your hand live in order to clarify the scenario. So I come back also the question coming from the chat, and is the final scenario that they want to show. I create an example like that again to simulate an external tool, web-based in this case, that do something. In this case, again, we create a file. The file, F&O move the file, as you know, in probably download folder locally, but you can decide to create the file in a OneDrive, for instance. So if you image this recording, not let's say F&O, but SAP, obviously web-based in this case, but SAP, I don't know, to be honest, I remember if it's web-based or not. I'm a fan of Dynamics. Or other system, again, web-based or not, but essentially you have a file, So how, let's say, trigger or manage automatically and tell to F&O, let's say, oh, pick the file and elaborate and create invoice or create an order, such order, whatever. You can do, as you know, using, again, UI flow. In this case, not desktop UI flow. Here, if I refresh, I'm expected to find the example flow, because when you save something in your desktop, everything is saved in the cloud. So if you see now appear also example. If you start an automated flow, let's say automate, how to, again, trigger the event, external event, like external system send something to you and you need to move automatically. Okay, obviously, as you know, you can do something like that with the data management, with the CosaX, I don't remember the name, the formal name, but essentially you can do, we can use the entities in order to manage also the automatically this type of scenario. But if you want to use Power Automation, it's very easy as well, because you can choose a trigger like when a file is created in your OneDrive, okay? Or you can choose, let's say, if you filter file, or yes, you can also check when a file is in SharePoint or when a file is created on your file system. So if you choose this option, well, you need to, very important things, that install the data gateway, okay? Because you need to, in some way, create a communication from the cloud, in this case, and your on-premise system, okay? So you need the connection already have, so I need to define a new connection. Well, my CTMP. Oh, well, let me choose the user locally. And about the gateway, I choose the get that I created some hour before, that I create for the Saturday event. In this case, I create a connection. Here you go. So now loading. In this case, I choose temp. So the solution show me the folder, in this case on ctemp main folder. So I choose file system automatically ctemp in this case. New step. Well, new step. Here you can do a lot of things. You can choose standard connector, let's say, create a record in FNO. You can create an event, so you can create a data service, or you can call, you can raise and yes, call Power Automate Desktop Flow. That is very powerful, you know. Oh, sorry, you need to choose the gateway, because again, also Power Automate Desktop is installed locally. I don't remember which is this one, I guess. Yeah. If you see, you find out the name of the flow that you have created. So again, example, for instance, usually I use attend run when I'm signal in. There you go. So, in this case, what's happening? Well, folder, sorry. In this case, I create a flow, but again, the flow is automatically running, and you can run the flow every 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 1 hour, what do you want. And so when a file, in this case, is created in your file system, so as a basic, usually integration, you do something. In this case, something means create a desktop flow. The desktop flow, obviously, this example is not the right one, because I run a report. But if you image to open it, a menu item that choose a file in a specific folder and import the data inside the file, is the right one in terms of example. But I show you what's happened in this case, just to show you how it works. Essentially, you can test there you go. You can test the flow, so you can run a test also automatically in terms of, you can schedule, sorry, the test or the run. Well, I run the test. Obviously, in this case, the flow is waiting something, you know, because if you remember, I say when a new file coming, you do something. So I go to ctemp. Well, I copy, I duplicate essentially the file that I already have. Automatically, the flow through the data gateway start a trigger, because say, oh, well, the new file is created. So if it, okay, well, fine, it works. And so the first step is fine, so 0 seconds, because it's very, very fast. And now the Power Automated, the flow, the UI flow called the Power Automated Desktop Flow, now is running. So you can see, start your CRM, your Power web-based system. Again, also not a web-based, it could be also a desktop application that in this case probably the application pick up the file that an external system created. So in this case, probably it's okay that you run FNO, and the FNO probably start an option like import invoice. Now again, we have an error that is the same that we see before. Now I check and I fix. But essentially, apart, let's say, the error, is very powerful because you have an external system that, again, create a file, in this case invoice, and you want to import the invoice automatically. Obviously, the invoice, in order to import invoice, I don't use, because starting from a recent requirement from my client is I need to open the Excel spreadsheet, pick up the value and simulate the invoice manually. So I guess the question from the people in the chat is, let's say, automatically by Power Automation, not to use the obviously the data management or the entities essentially, but run the form about invoices, choose the vendor, choose the order that are inside the spreadsheet, and fill out potentially the item, if I understood correctly. But this is a requirement coming from my client recently, and I work on it because you can do, because again, with the Power Automation, desktop, as you can see, you have Excel. You have Excel in the options. So I'm in my requirement that I'm working. Italia is read Excel spreadsheet. So I use Power Automate. In this case, I don't call automatically F&O, but I call this. There is a step like that. So open it, the file. Read the content of the file. Obviously, the format, the schema must be the same. So not every time the schema change, but essentially, I create in a variable. So this is the final result. I read the file, create let's say everything, moves everything in a variable, and on top of that, justifies. I read the file. I call F&O. Run F&O and fill out automatically the entry, just simulate, let's say, a user. So you can do, again, with Power Automate, but again, it's not today the session. In order to show something like that, if you want, I can do in the future. What I want to say, guys, is the final result, because apart of say, this scenario, come back to my original topic, I want to have a unique console, okay? So I want to manage my regression test journey, whatever it is external, F&O, or internal, in a unique way. My suggestion, and what I usually I follow my client, is to use a workaround. So I use the business event just to call, let's say, external event like Power Automation desktop. I explain you better. So I can let's say record let's say create a client, create a vendor. I can create a purchase order. I can record create the receive, let's say, the purchase order. But I want to also, run something or wait something externally before, let's say, to raise the invoice. So let's say an event that must be managed externally. In this case, my suggestion is to create a custom menu, like customer name, custom menu. And so with the recording, essentially record, so just a new recording, click on this custom menu. What happened in this custom menu? Essentially, I create a custom business event. This is a project that I created before the session. As you know, you can create all custom event, business event as you prefer. So if as you know, business event, you can reach out to business event in setup. I don't remember. Okay, here you go. Business event catalog. This is the standard. You can create your business event. As you can see, I create my one custom a few seconds ago. This one. That is an example that you find also in a blog, in some blog, I don't remember. But essentially, I want to say that I can create a business event. Let's say, I don't know, create a record in my custom table. The custom table is, let's say, a table that I use to manage the an external system action, let's say. So essentially, I have a menu custom. So I'm recording. I'm record with the task recording this event. So I choose, let's say, make an example. This is my custom option. When I click custom button, when I click here, I create a record on a custom table, and automatically there is a flow that are obviously running in background. So essentially, you create a new automated flow, business event tour. You know, is the unique event that you available in FinOps. Well, fantastic. So here you choose again your connection detail. Well, sorry, you choose the environment because if just fill out manually the environment. Here you go. Here you check, you choose a category. I guess payable. In this case, not payable, but in your case, category could be custom Deloitte or something like that. My custom event. My company, so the company where you are working on. New step, again, I call magic, the magic power automate desktop, as you see before. So also here I choose the flow that they created with my example again. I will go. So this is fantastic because again, with the recording, I record, so I can find in my test plan, test case, sorry, also an entry like call customer engagement or create something TMS system, although as you want. This action that you click again, if you remember, in a custom button, call create a record in a table. So as you see in my Power Visual Studio, I create a custom event, a business event, just a record is created in event table, but you can use again your custom table. And usually I create one table per each system, because it is also important, you know, because in some way I have an audit, you know, so I have an audit table, so I can check how many time, you know, a specific action is being called, was being called. Again, I come back to my flow. I intercept, because the flow starts automatically because an event occurs. You call the Power Automate desktop flow that in this case simulate or run a custom process in your external system. Again, could be customer engagement or whatever. This action again, so sorry, Rsat, wait until this option, this process is not finished. Otherwise, again, the issue is that you can do also in another way, but the problem is that you don't know how much time this action take, you know. So in this case, everything is in a step by step. The Rsat wait until this process to finish. Just is finished. So, example, the customer engage creates something, send you out in an Excel file or whatever. Start another recording. The recording could be import the file, could be do something else, or blah blah blah. Again, I don't show you the Rsat because again I think it's easy to do something with the Rsat, but this session again is to explain you guys how manage integration, because and in a unique way, let's say, so in a unique console, because otherwise if you have a mixed process or a process that you have different scenario, internal and external FNO, is impossible to manage with the Rsat. In this way you can do. I'm expecting in the future something coming from Microsoft. So I mean, you can do what explain in not created a custom table, something like that, but in a more standard way. So I'm expecting that you can add an entry and let's say fill out some parameter and call Power Automate in a standard way, not using, let's say, business event. But in my opinion, this workaround, in my experience, it works, and it works very, very, very well, because in this case, again, you can you can run an end-to-end scenario, including the integration. Well, I'm almost finished. I don't know. Let me check question, guys. So let me go. Okay, maybe the third way type from attendee. Yeah, list is the appropriate option. Yeah, you're right. Could be. Rsat can upload a file. I understood then that I can use Power Automate to record uploading a file in the C files, and then I can run test case. Yeah, by Rsat. Yeah, well, the solution that explains to essentially use the same capability that probably you want to use in your day-by-day business scenario. So to be honest, if you create a business event or you create, sorry, Power Automate flow, my suggestion is not create only for the regression test, but you already have a Power Automate. You already have something managed by Power Automate, in my opinion, to do something. So potentially, my idea is only to pick up the single piece, of not of code but of automation, and move in the same in the same table, essentially. So ideally, I don't want to say, okay, use Power Automate to manage integration for the Rsat, but leverage from the same flow that you probably already have and you already use Power Automate, and combine with a workaround with a suggest like custom attribute, custom table, business event to trigger automatically using Rsat also event that are not internal FNO. This is the trick, let's say. Well, other question, guys? I don't know, Ludovic.
Yeah, I had a look at the chat, and what I find interesting is this unattended mode. If we run this, can we run this in unattended mode, or does the desktop has to be open?
No. Yes. You can run in unattended mode. Yes, probably I choose before. Not this one. Sorry, I choose waiting for the signal for the signing. But yes, you can choose the option like unattended. Yes, for sure. Otherwise, it's the best in terms of solution. I don't remember which was the option. Probably this. No, sorry, this one. I don't remember. But anyway, yes, the answer is okay. Here you go. Yeah, for sure, is the benefit of the solution. I don't know if you, Ludwig, that you had the guru. What do you think? I mean, about the session, or do you think that could be necessary, probably more detail how it works in real life? Let's say with the example of custom table, something like that, or you think was enough in terms of okay, I understand how to do?
For me, this was very good to show all the people here what they can do, because I think not everybody might have tried this, and this is really a good way to show the endless possibilities. I think Julia, who was talking before, showed a lot of things that you can do with flow. This one really fit close to this and shows you what can be done even more than with flow. Yeah. So it's really I feel a great session. But can you share your contact details, because I believe that people will have questions and they want to come back to you to ask some.
Well, yeah, but obviously, guys, to reach out to me, guys, very easy, because like all people here is enough to walk through on LinkedIn and send me a message, a chat, or whatever. There is also in my MVP homepage in my personal email. So again, if you have a question in offline, you have a lot of channel to reach out to me. Again, LinkedIn or email or whatever. I'm happy to hear your comment. Again, this session was not, let's say, a training on Power Automated, because no, it's just a brainstorming how to, again, use Power Automated for, in combination, let's say, with the Rsat, just to have, again, a unique console, because, again, my clients say, oh, well, I don't want a bunch of tool, and capture error around in a different way or in a different software, using different software. So the trick, the outcome of this session is have Rsat as your unique console. Obviously, that if you use a tricky, my suggestion, you don't have in Rsat or in DevOps a potential error, let's say the log of the error, because the log obviously is saved externally. So if an error coming over the Power Automate flow, you need to reach out the console of the Power Automate to catch the error, obviously. But is in any case, in my opinion, workaround to again have everything Rsat. Hopefully, in the future, Microsoft introduce something like that. So let's say again, not a custom table, blah, but like an option that you can fill out some parameter and call external event. And expect that in this case, Microsoft trigger and catch also the error and show the error in the ops as well. But this workaround, I use usually this workaround, and it works in a really fine. So I'm happy to show you as well. Again, if you have a question, reach out to me in the different channel.
Okay, so thank you very much then for your presentation and the time and effort invested. That's always requires a lot of preparation. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you to you, Ludovic, and the other guys here. Happy to see your comment. Okay, have a good day.